Greetings, Mikal here. A couple of weeks ago, I promised to come back to this drawing here. I shared with you my big picture for 2017. And here I am back elaborating a bit further as promised. Again, I'm not showing this to you because I want you to know my big picture. You really don't need to know my big picture. I'm the only one who needs to know that. But I encourage for you to know your big picture, whether it's for a limited period of time of this year or for your whole life. And the last three videos has been primarily about that, why to create that and how to create it and how to work with it. So for today, I want to elaborate on the this element here. Last time I went over those two and promised to come back talking about this one. And again, it's not about me. It's about me sharing with you in a way that hopefully inspires you to look into what this means to you. So this is, for me, about energy. Like the essence here is this part. And it's mind, soul, and body, if we're going to use the more traditional kind of words for it. But the words I'm using here is mind and heart or soul and sex. And last time I went through these and promised to come back and talk more about this. So I will do that. But if you haven't watched those and don't want to go back to that, let me just explain these very, very briefly. Mind. So this is the masculine part of our being. And men or women alike, we have a mixture of masculine and feminine. And mind is, for me, the masculine representation of that. And it's the energy of mind, which is, in essence, masculine. And here we have the energy of the heart of the soul, which is feminine, which is, this is consciousness, and this is consciousness manifest. It's called Mother Earth, Mother Nature. And we have those energies within us. We have to have the masculine and the feminine in order for us to function. We have to have the consciousness itself, and we have to have the manifestation of consciousness. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. And then these lines here is that connection into that. Now, going down into this and seeing this connection and how this all fits together and then spreads out into the world. We have to have a look at that one. And the word that I'm using here is the word sex. Like the other ones, it's not about the mind itself. It's not about the heart itself. It's about the energy of these parts of our being. So this is about the energy of sex, not about the action of sex. And the reality is that we are sexual beings. If not, we wouldn't be here in the form we are. In order for life to continue, for any species, and for the human species, sex is required. And the sexual energy is what is driving that to happen. So it's very, very natural, but very, very powerful energy, which is good from the sense of keeping us alive. What we can do then, if we want to experience life at a deeper level, we can start looking at these aspects from, we got the word depth here, from what we could call a more spiritual viewpoint, or a deeper viewpoint. And when we do that, we come to experience that the sexual energy is really just life energy flowing through our physical body. And what we tend to do, from my understanding, in our culture, most of our cultures today, is that we tend to use that sexual energy for sex in whatever form. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's very enjoyable, and by all means. However, there is more to it. And when we go back in history, there are so many examples of cultures that did that. So, like that captured or understood at some level that what we're dealing with here is not just about sex, that there is an incredible energy available there that we can use for life, because it's a life energy. And that's what this is about for me. Now, that doesn't mean we can't have sex. So let me just make that really clear. It's not that we have to do the kind of becoming monks and go into celibacy and go to that extreme. It's not that we can't do that, but I can understand the purpose of that, because it forces us to then focus on that energy and work with that energy rather than kind of dissipate it by through the act of sex. Now, let me also be clear that focusing on this energy doesn't mean you can't experience the physical expression of sex, because absolutely you can. But what it does mean is that if you do that, you have to be really, really conscious of that energy and what you do with that energy. And that's, for me, where the real magic comes in. It is combining those two. So my invitation to you is to just feel into and explore that energy and experience the incredible power that there is in that energy, and see if you can find ways of utilizing that energy within your body. And this is where breathing becomes really important, where you can practice breathing that through. So what I have personally done to strengthen this for myself is that I have created a Tai Chi kind of sequence where I almost on a daily basis will go through that, using this kind of image within my own mind, and breathing these energies around in my body, and then this sharing, because what's the point of this if it's just for me, which is nice, but there's this here where that is shared out into the world. And when we share that energy, that extremely powerful energy that life is, something very magical starts to happen. So this is my my invitation for you to play with this for yourself and question into yourself, mind, just having that awareness of what is mind and what's the energy of mind, what is the heart and the soul, what is the energy of that, and how am I experiencing that, and then the life energy or the sexual energy, where is that and how am I experiencing that. And if you can circulate that in this pattern or any other pattern, there is some magic in that. And I invite you to explore that, and I really invite you to share with me any experiences and any insights and any questions that you might have to this. So I know this video got a little bit longer this time than it normally does, but I hope it was useful for you, and I look forward to hearing from you. And feel free to share this with other people or subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and click a thumbs up or whatever you may want to do with this. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.